Right, an interesting question this. It's not your typical bog standard mean and frequency table one. You're told that there's 14 apples in this table, but there's actually 15 apples in total. The mean number of apples in each bag is 9. So you're given the fact that there's 15 apples and the mean number in each 15 bags, apples, and the mean number of apples is 9. So if you do 15 bags times by 9, then that will give you 135 apples in total. And the question is, it says calculate the number of apples in the 15th bag. Well, this is number of apples and the number of bags that are in those. So if this is here our fx column, what does 14 mean? Well, it means that 2 bags have 7 apples in, so this is the total number of apples. So I'm just timesing these numbers together. So we times them all together, and then we add up these numbers. So that will then give us 127. So we need to get 135 apples. So what we're missing? So what did the number of apples in the 15th bag have? Well, 135. Take off 127. It had 8 apples. Question 7. So we've got Kelly recorded the time for 48 teachers. So this is 7. We've got 7A. I'm just going to put that in the corner here. To travel 35 minutes or more. Right, 35 minutes is your upper quartile. So it means that a quarter of the data is above that quartile. So 25% of the data. Well, if there's 48 teachers, if you divide that by 4, that'll tell you how many teachers are above that, which is 12. On the grid, draw a box plot to show the information on this grid here. So this is for B. So we've got the least time, which is 5. We've got the greatest time, which is 47. We then have the median of 28. We have the lower quartile, that's 18. And we have the upper quartile, that's 35. And draw this in. Obviously you'll be able to do it a lot straighter than I can. Then you get the idea of what's expected there. And then you've got Kelly then recorded the same 48 teachers to travel on Tuesday. Compare the travel times on Monday and Tuesday. So it's a comparison question then. We can look at two things really. I think personally what I would look for here is the median. So let's see the median here and the median here. So the median on Monday is equal to 28, and the median on Tuesday is equal to 40. So you can say on average it took 12 minutes longer on Tuesday. So important to use the word on average because median is an average. The other thing you could have done is taken the ranges. So you could have taken 48 off 5 and then 59 off 10, and that would have showed you then obviously the ranges, and you could have talked about consistency of data. Question 8 is your big problem solving question, so the one that requires quite a bit of work in terms of getting this right. So we've got John and Alice are planning a holiday. They're going to stay in a hotel. Tell us some information about price of the hotel. And then we've got saver prices there. John and Alice will stay in a double room. So we're looking at a double room there. No, it's underlying things as it's happening. They'll eat dinner at the hotel every day. So we're going to go for dinner every day. They can stay at the hotel for 3 nights in June. Or, so 3 nights in June. Or 4 nights in November. So let's move this across slightly. Which of these ones is cheaper? So what I always do with these questions is basically a comparison question. 3 in June or 4 in November, that's the question. So what we're going for, price per person per night, so there's 2 of them. So in June there's 3 nights, we're going in June time, so April, May, June, July is this area, so it's £74.25. We're also going to times it by 2 because there's 2 of them. So that's then £445.50p. Now we've got this 5 nights at the price of 4 in May to July. Well, that's no use for us because we're going for 3 nights. We've also got dinner. Now that's for 3 nights, and that's going to cost them at this point here £31, and again there's 2 of them every night. That will then give you £186. We add the 2 together, which will then give us £631.50. Once we've done that, we'll work out on the other side, November. Now this has got a deal on 3 nights for the price of 2 nights. So they're going for 4 nights, so they'll only pay for 3 nights, won't they, because 1 night will be free. So 3 nights they'll pay for. It will cost them in November £59.75p, and there's 2 of them, so we times that by 2. So that's £358.50. Now here's the tricky bit, you don't do then 3 times your dinner. I actually did this when I went through it with a group. It's not. It's 4 nights because they're paying for dinner, they don't get any deal on the dinner. So they're £4, 4 times 3, £31.75, and again there's 2 of them. So that's £254. Add the 2 together, that gives you £612.50. So which one is cheaper? November is cheaper. And I'll also say buy, and then if you take one off the other, then you can say buy £19. Question 9. Work out the value of x here. So this is question 9a. Plays a game throwing a ball at a target. Table shows and measures probability of each score. Mary's 3 times likely to score a 2 than a 1 point. Sorry, it's 3 times more likely to score a 2 than a 1 point there. Work out the value of x. Well, we know if we add them all together, all these values, they will equal 1. Because all the values added together will sum to 1 because it's mutually exclusive. There's only these values that you can score. So 0.9, so that's 0.3, 0.46, 0.76, and x plus 3x is 4x. So take your 0.6 off, 0.76 sorry, off this, you get 0.24. Divide by 4, 0.06 then as your value of x. Then as for B, Mary plays the game twice. Work out the probability of scoring a total of 8. So how can she score a total of 8? Well, she can get a 3 and a 5, and what else can she get? She can also get a 4 and a 4 repeatedly. Ball at a target, so it will not. The probabilities won't change. So it's a probability of a 3 and a 5. If you think of a tree diagram here, you'd have all that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Just to think about here, the probability of a 3 is 0.16 times by the probability of a 5, which is 0.3. So that gives you 0.048. Now I'm going to times that by 2, because you can have the root where it's 3 and 5, or she could have got a 5, so I could have gone down this 5 and then I'm going to 3. So I'm going to times it by 2. And then we've also got the probability of a 4 and a 4, which is 0.21 times by 0.21. which gives us 0.0441, and then we put these two together, so probability of an 8 then gives our value of 0.1401. Tough question, that part. Question 10. I'll actually pick this up in the next bit.